start. Okay, so some of you guys may be looking at this and you're wondering, what the hell am I watching? How the hell did I get here? Well, this is Breach of the Gamer Bros. And I'm here to remind you that we used to do this little thing where, we would play games and we would take videos of it and we'd put it on YouTube for you guys. One of the things I really enjoyed doing was this game right here, Doom 1. Now, Doom, Breach, didn't you have a full playthrough of Knee Deep in the Dead on the YouTube channel before? Back before you guys took a little hiatus? Yes, I did. And I lost the raw video file. And I felt really bad about that because, Doom, one of my favorite games out there. I love playing it. I need to get some more in for you. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to do some more Knee Deep in the Dead. This time, we're not going to be playing on Ultraviolence, but I'm going to bring it to you all in one take. We're going to play on Hurt Me Plenty, because, why the fuck not? And here, you always got to get your controls. I mean, it's been nearly a year since I've played this game, which hurts. It hurts to say that. And I'm used to shit being out there, I'm used to playing on Ultraviolence. I know I can't just jump back into it. I'm used to there being like 4 different guys here, already having a shotgun, rushing out here, getting my ass kicked as I go for the armor, but there's really not that much going on out there. Instead, we're just going to take a nice casual little romp around Knee Deep in the Dead. Got to give mad props to id and Bethesda on this game, because it revolutionized the first-person shooter. I mean, there were times back in the PC days of Doom when you could do multiplayer, and it would be like office LAN events. People would be doing that instead of work, and you didn't get that effect until then. And still, I mean, sure, people do World of Warcraft when they should be working, but it's not the same as it used to be with this. I mean, you could wire up all the computers in your school, just go in the computer lab and just murk each other. There was multiplayer on the PC in those days, because it's a very mod-friendly game. And I'm playing this on the PS3 because I can and I want to, which is why it took me a second to get used to the controls and why I haven't already just hit MRO for all weapon, or is that Wolfenstein that code works in? I don't know, it's been too long since I've played on the PC. I have it, but I just haven't played it. Because it's easier for me to record from the PS3, to be honest. But here, you step on that little trigger at the opening gate. Oh, more motherfuckers want to come play. Well, eat my bullets. So now we're going to step back here, go in this little secret passage. Grab a shotgun, which is what we're going to use for a majority of the game. Because shotgun, that's why. If you guys watched it before, you know I love the motherfucking shotguns in this game, because they kill things. Shotguns in any video game, they're fun. You get up close in things' faces, like you're supposed to be in Doom, and you just blast away. Now, we're not going to hit par on most of these levels, just because the par time is ridiculous. That's like speedrun. And I'm not speedrunning, I am going pretty quick for what it is, but it's just a fun little casual playthrough on Hurt Me Plenty. Because, why not? It's Doom, it's Breach, you know what to expect. I'm going to run around, I'm going to shoot motherfuckers in faces, I'm going to blast their faces off, give you about 40 minutes of entertainment, you can watch it at your leisure. Hell, I don't care if you watch the whole thing in one sitting, come back. I think YouTube saves your place on videos that are longer than 10, 15, 20 minutes. I don't fucking know. I do radio, not YouTube. Except for now. Now I do YouTube. Again. So, the great thing about Doom is you have all these maps that are multi-leveled. Granted, they didn't really code the multi-level in well, which I'll point out at some later parts. But they did what they could at the time. I mean, this is 1993, 95-ish that we're looking at. First time I played it was on the Super Nintendo, because, I mean, we were poor grown-ups. We didn't have, PCs that could play games, or PCs, or computers, really. I had a Super Nintendo, a regular Nintendo, and we didn't have cable. So, I mean, I spent a lot of time playing video games growing up. It's one of the things I really miss about childhood, is just going and playing games like this. Collecting all the shit, trying to find all the secrets, and here, I remember there's a secret, Oh yeah, it's right around here. that, get the backpack. Can't pick up the armor because the green armor gives you 100 armor value, and if you're already above 100, it won't give it to you. It just boosts you to 100. Just come out here, pick up all the little one-shot bonuses I can. Pick up a health sphere for 200% health, which, you know, it's kind of good that we grab that. Pick up the chain gun, and I fumble around, try and figure out which keys change weapons, which ones don't, or which buttons change weapons, which ones don't. Because in all fairness, I don't need anything besides a shotgun and one spot for a rocket launcher later in this game, which you'll see. But here, I open the red door after I grab the red key card up there, and naturally there's more and more enemies to shoot. Boom! Double kill. The great thing about this is, I mean, it's the same game every time, obviously, but it's fun. It's mindless fucking fun, and I can't remember how to get that. I think I got it before, but, you know, fuck it. I'm not wasting time around here showing off everything, because, you know, I don't feel like it. If you want a completionist playthrough or something, go watch Jester. The dude cannot leave a secret unturned. Me, I just want to shoot some stuff in the face, have a little bit of fun. It's been a long weekend, been helping some people move, and now I'm sitting back, I'm enjoying a little violence. Because, let's be honest, violent video games, this isn't that bad. And this was one of the ones they said was going to corrupt the youth of America. As if they're not already fucking corrupted enough. I mean, let's take for instance, whenever they show shit on the news. They're like, oh, this is a fad among teens. They're putting chapstick on the front of their eyelids to get high, and it's making them go blind. That's fucking retarded, and nobody tried that until you made a big deal out of it. One retarded motherfucker probably did it, went to the hospital, and they're like, oh, this must be the new fad. And now everyone's fucking doing it. Or, oh, let's go sniff, you know, the cat. That'll get us high. Nobody does shit until the news makes a big deal out of it. Whereas violent video games, sure, I mean, you have, you know, one wacko out of 1,000 that's going to go act on it, but that motherfucker's going to go crazy and do shit no matter what you do. Banning video games that people enjoy for their artistic value, for their entertainment value, just because one nut job can't handle his shit, that's retarded. I don't know what kind of backwards-ass mentality we've got that we think, you know, just because some people don't know how to interact in the real world, we should just cater the real world to those people. No, that's not realistic, that's not feasible, it's not smart. The minute we start stopping something just for one individual out of 1,000, out of 10,000, out of however fucking many, is when we lose who we are as people. You know, just, it's, who was it that said it? Oh, God. It was Carlos Mencia, and I hate that I'm quoting him, because, I mean, at least I'll acknowledge that I got this from him, but he said, if I can't tell a joke to one audience, I shouldn't be able to tell it to any. So I'm going to say it in front of whoever, because that's just the way it is. Someone is going to be offended by something, someone is going to go crazy, and just because that one person's going to be abnormal, out of the norm, and act out on something, doesn't mean that something shouldn't happen. There have been a lot of good things that happen in this world that people didn't agree with, or that people couldn't handle. You know, we look at the abolishment of slavery. Let's look at that. Let's take that example. Since I'm not going into the Nazi thing that, you know, the internet says every argument will devolve into. But let's look at that. There were a whole lot of people that said getting rid of slavery was a bad idea, that it wouldn't work. They were all a lot of them were in the South, a lot of them were slave owners, and their economy depended on it because they were getting free, cheap fucking labor. Doesn't mean it was a good idea. It was fucking retarded, saying that someone can own someone else. And it's been around since the fucking biblical days. It's just, they get their justification in the Bible that you can have slaves because people in the Bible had slaves. So they think, you know, it's there, it says we can do it, our economy's based on it. If we have to start paying these people, God, we're not going to have any economy down here. Well, that's fucking dumb, and it's fucking retarded, and all people deserve to be treated equal. But it was a radical idea down there back in that day. So, treat all people equal means that everyone gets equal access to it, and they get the opportunity to do with it what they will. And when they start acting like a nutbag, you punish the fucking nutbag. You don't punish the masses for the potentiality of crazy. That's some fucking Minority Report shit going on. That's the logic. Oh, and while we're on the topic, the people who were against the violent video games like Doom and Mortal Kombat, Leland Yee, one of the big proponents, guess what he just got caught doing? Running a fucking gun smuggling ring. So, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be the poster child for this. Leland? It's okay, Leland Yee won't be able to see this video unless, you know, his person gives access to fucking YouTube and internet. But let's get back on topic, now that we've cleared, what is it, 2, 3 floors? I don't fucking know. We'll find out here in a second. Toxin Refinery. 71% of kills. Didn't get them all. Didn't get any secrets. Oh, that was 3 floors clear. You see, the Knee Deep in the Dead runs by so fast for me now, especially when I'm not playing on the higher difficulties, that I don't even know where I'm at half the time. I just know that there's stuff in front of me and it needs to die. Oh, this floor, I remember. I should remember, considering I played through this afternoon, and I'm commentating now this evening, but I remember this floor. You get trapped in the middle room there, and on Ultraviolence, there's a shit ton of assholes in here, and I don't even know what that does. I don't care. I think it probably lowers down the, no, it doesn't. Oh, well. We'll find out some other time. But this game, it's just, it's everything you need, and I was in a Skype call with Jester and Shane earlier today, and we were talking about Doom, because, I mean, I like Doom, and I was playing it. I'm like, hey guys, I'm going to put a video of it up on the channel now that we're back and running. And I said, I don't think that Doom 4 will be as successful as this. Doom 3 certainly wasn't as successful as the first two. And I compared it to Duke Nukem. Which I know, comparing anything to Duke Nukem with, you know, Forever out there, which Walmart's still selling for $10, is just heresy. And that's because that game was just so incredibly bad. But it was the Duke Nukem game that everyone wanted, everyone expected. It just wasn't good nowadays. And it's because the machismo figures, they're not what we need in society anymore. Back then we had, you know, Bruce Willis in movies. We had Schwarzenegger. And yes, we're getting that in, like, the Expendables series, but come on, that series is getting a little ridiculous itself now. It's a spoof of itself nowadays, really. But this game, it was amazing for its time, because it was the uber violence. You couldn't aim down sights. You're just running around hip-firing at just hordes and hordes of enemies as they come at you. It's you against the minions of hell with nothing but a shotgun or a chain gun or a pistol in your hands. And your job is to just fuck them all. Kill them all. And oh, you wanna sneak up on me? Fuck you, Mr. Guy. But it's one of those things. It can't be as successful as it was, because what it was back then isn't... It's not what people are looking for now. Sorry, it's hard for me to talk for 15 to 40 minutes at a time without taking a drink there. But Duke Nukem, back in the day, you know, he's a spoof of Dolph Lundgren and Arnold Schwarzenegger and everything that is man, just running around, just being a sexist pig, and it's not what people find entertaining anymore. I mean, people still want to run around and shoot stuff, but people like running around with their friends shooting stuff now. I mean, the single-player experience in most shooters isn't even there. So, basing an entire game on single-player in a shooter they got to do something good for Doom that still keeps the feeling that dodging fireballs, running around, fighting hordes of shit, but you're still going to have that multiplayer element nowadays, because that's what players as shooters have come to expect. So if you don't have that, you're you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like, one of the games I'm excited for, but I have reservations about, is Wolfenstein: The New Order. You buy that, you get into the beta for Doom 4, but at the same time, it's a single-player shooter, which, I mean, don't get me wrong, shooters are amazing, they're fun, but single-player, I can't play for, more than about 40 minutes to an hour before having to just set it down and unamp myself. It's one of those things where you play on point for so long, and I spend so much time trying to remember where the fucking secret is in this room. Oh my god, it's not there, you fucking dingus. You're getting shot in the ass anyways. What the fuck are you doing with your life? Fuck you, Mr. Guy. But it's one of those things where it's not what society wants or needs anymore. It's obsolete. I love this game to death, and I'll get Doom 4, and I'll play the shit out of it. And I'll probably even put some of it on here after it comes out. But if it doesn't, stick with the times while at the same time retaining what it was, it's not going to be successful. And that hurts me to say. Because Doom 3, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't. It's a good game, but it couldn't be what it needed to be. It came out, right before the birth of the modern FPS. Everyone was still learning your secret's not fucking there, it's over there, you dipshit. Barrels mark the fucking spot. There you go, you get a shotgun, some ammo, 1 health, and 1 armor. Was that worth it? Was that worth your fucking time? I think there's actually a rocket launcher down over there behind me, but I don't get that here, because reasons. And I'm more concerned with not getting hit while I have 76 health, even though I get dangerously close to going down in this video. This is a deathless run of Knee Deep in the Dead, but it almost wasn't. I think at one point I'm down to 6% health, which if you haven't played Doom before, it's not where you want to be. You want to be somewhere closer to 100%, 92 where I'm at right now. 6% not good, not good at all. But to get back to what gamers are looking for and what they enjoy, I mean, look at Borderlands 2, look at, for lack of a better fucking game to say, look at Call of Duty, look at Battlefield, look at Titanfall. Titanfall's a shining beacon that we can point out. And this is where I start to get, things go downhill here. And I GTFO, run over a stim pack, and I know that those motherfuckers are there, and yet I'm still not ready for it. Let's run to this stim pack and take out some people up here and exploit the elevation. Because the way they coded it in this game, there's not really elevation in a sense. It treats everything as if it's on the same y-axis and then deals with the x and the z. But you can still be on a different y-axis from an appearance point. So it's kind of the illusion of a 3D world, but not really. If that makes sense to you at all. You can go up, and you can certainly see up and around, but the collision detection is on a 2D world, which is how you get around not being able to aim up or down. It just automatically does it, and the visual effects go to match what you're shooting at. And there's nothing up here. You're wasting your fucking time, Breach. Just stop. Just stop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm gonna go up the other one too. And be like, oh, there's nothing up here. What the fuck? Oh, yep, sure enough. No secrets here, no secrets there. Wasting your fucking time. Oh, you even missed the armor. Fucking dumbass. Actually, there might be a secret up on this one. I don't fucking remember. I played it this afternoon. I don't even remember. I didn't watch this before I started talking. But you know what? The reasons. Fuck it. I'm having fun. It's a fucking game. If you're not playing a game to have fun, you're playing for the wrong fucking reason. So that's what games are. They're fun. They're distractions from the world around us. And I think there is. Yeah, I do get a secret up over here. Because awesome. Yep. Right this way. Yes, sir. Invisibility. And some health. And a fucking blue door that I can't go through because I don't have the blue key. Fucking smart. But it put me right back at the beginning where I wanted to be anyways, so, you know, fuck it. Go kill some bitches. Get out of my face, fly. You ever have that one fly that just loves being right in your face? Like, that's where it's fucking supposed to be. Yeah, I got that situation going on right now. But, back to the greater point. You have your Battlefields, your Call of Duties, your Titanfalls. I mean, Titanfall has a campaign, but it's online. It's a multiplayer campaign. Like, the campaign is just multiplayer matches that give you different dialogue. So, the single-player shooter experience is all but dead. So, Wolfenstein The New Order needs to have at least some kind of campaign co-op or multiplayer or something. Otherwise, it's going to go the same route that fucking Duke Nukem Forever did. Because that had the ridiculous weapons, it had the over-the-top enemies, and it still was just a big bundle of fail. And I love Duke Nukem. I do. The Duke Nukem 64 is amazing. Hey, there's a Spectre in front of you, dipshit. Shoot it and make it die. Duke Nukem Forever was a big bundle of fail because it clung very tightly to the old shit. I mean, granted, it spent years in development hell. Now, this room I do remember from the last playthrough. And it's because it was one of the places where I went down. And I just said, fuck it, we're not dealing with that shit this time. That, on Ultraviolence, that room's supposed to have 3 fucking Spectres in it. I could have gotten night goggles and a rocket launcher there, too. But you know what, we're just not dealing with that shit today. Oh, there's dudes. Let's see if we can goat them out. Boom, you're dead. Oh, is there another one? Oh, you're coming around the corner. You're coming around the dead. Oh, I'm not dead. They're not gonna kill me. So, let's look at what we need in the formula of a good shooter. Because I mean, we can look back at the old ones and we can decide from there what works, what doesn't. Because you know, those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And I do not want Doom 4 to turn into fucking Duke Nukem Forever. Whatever the hell kind of tagline they give it, or if they just label it Doom as a reboot of the series. I don't want it to happen because I love this game too much, and I don't want one of my favorite franchises to become a shit bomb of the week. Because it deserves better than that. So first, you have to be able to give some kind of a multiplayer experience. That's rule fucking one for games nowadays. Yes, the single player works in RPGs, things of that nature, but still, I'd like to be able to play Final Fantasy X with my friends online. Maybe just co-op it, something like that. But you almost have to have some kind of multiplayer experience in games nowadays. And a lot of that is half-assed tacked on at the end. Like, The Last of Us. Multiplayer was a second thought to that. It'd be really awesome if the game had been not as story-driven, but had been like an open-world zombie game, kind of like DayZ, and been all multiplayer. But it had a story, it had a good, compelling single player, and it had, workable multiplayer. You look at other games, like, what's a good one out recently that had a single-player experience? Lightning Returns had a single-player only experience. Granted, I have my own issues with that game in, having time limits set in the game in an RPG series that's about exploration. I can't think of very many games outside of RPGs recently that have been just solely single-player driven. I mean, sports games, but again, you have the multiplayer element of team versus team. So you almost have to have some form of multiplayer in the game. Now, what makes Doom Doom? You have hordes of enemies coming at you all at once. In Doom 3, they tried to do that, but they also gave the enemies a lot of health so that you ended up burning through all your ammo trying to take them out. And granted, the lower difficulties, you don't have as many enemies. It's the fucking trade-off. And here, I try and go through the gold... Oh, I don't try and go through the gold door. I'm smart. Fucking smart breach. Okay, so... hordes of enemies. It's one of the things you gotta have in Doom. It's what makes Doom. It's you, survival. You gotta be a fucking tank. You can't be, fucking a pussy who goes down after 3 hits. I mean, survival should be something where you're on the edge about it, but it also shouldn't be something where it's like, oh, I'm just going to go back to the last checkpoint. Because another element of Doom that was, made it more difficult, if you will, was if you died, you started at the beginning of the level, but you had none of your fucking guns. You had to survive, and a lot of times that's a death sentence in itself. Like, say you go down in the last level right before, a boss room. And there are bosses in this game. You go down before the boss room. You respawn with a pistol with 8 bullets in it. If you don't know the secrets or know where shit's at, you're not surviving. Game over for you. You gotta restart. We gotta get over this mentality that the game has to be beaten by everyone. That's one of the things that games have dumbed down. We gotta get over that. If you're not good enough, you're not gonna beat the game. Play more, get better. If you don't want to play more, tough titties. I don't give a shit. I mean, Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2, they're fucking hard games. But you respawn at your last campfire. If you save at a campfire, all the enemies respawn. So, in there, you have difficulty built in. But there's no limit to the number of times you can die without having to just restart the game. That's what made a lot of the old NES games as difficult as they were. I mean, you look at games when you had to be good at games. Look at fucking Mega Man. You have no cheat codes, you have, 3 lives, and then you have to restart the game. It added length to a game that could be short. It gave the player a sense of gratification, because, wow, look what I just did. I beat a hard fucking game. Yellow door was that way, dumbass. So, give some kind of punishment for dying. Don't just, restart at last checkpoint. No, no more fucking checkpoints. I mean, you can have checkpoints, but have there be a fucking punishment for dying. Don't just, I'm gonna keep trying this same strategy that didn't work until it finally works. No. That's not what this game's about. This game is about hammering through things. If you're not good enough, rework it, come back, or rebuild. That's one of the reasons that, survival games are doing so well. Like Don't Starve, Minecraft. You die, you gotta restart. Hell, the point of Don't Starve is don't die. So when you die, you have to start a whole new character, whole new game. That's the way it should be. If you die in Doom, you should have some kind of punishment, whether it be, start back with none of your guns and 8 bullets. But even then, how do you tell a story in the episodic, just throw you into the action? You can tell a story across the levels, but again, you're running into that mentality that, if you buy the game, you're entitled to hear the whole story without being good at it at all. That's why there's different difficulty levels. If you can't handle, Hurt Me Plenty, go play on Don't Hurt Me, or Please Daddy, or whatever the fuck the game mode is in this one. That's what I like about the Pinkies. They go and attack the imps for you and wear themselves down. But yeah, if you can't handle the difficulty, get out of the fucking game, or lower the difficulty. Try again. It's not that hard to just restart the game, get back to where you were. I mean, you look at Doom 2. It had 32 levels, and the expansion of it had another 32. So you have 64 levels in Doom 2. 64 levels to play through. If you beat them all in 2 to 3 minutes, maybe as much as 5, you're getting a fair amount of time out of that game, especially with the replay value. Play it at a higher difficulty. But all AAA titles are working towards this, 10 to 12 hours of story mode. That's the benchmark they're aiming for. So Doom has to set itself apart from that to be successful. It has to break the mold in some way. It can't just be like every other fucking shooter out there. It can't be a Call of Duty clone. It can't be a Halo clone. It can't be a Titanfall clone. And it certainly as hell can't be a Borderlands clone. I love that game to death, Borderlands, but if it's like that, it's not going to be successful. So with the precedent set in Doom 3, you're going to have to be able to aim. I mean, everyone expects to be able to aim at this point. Now that they have the coding all figured out. But at the same time, you're going to have, you know, your hordes of enemies, and it's a delicate balance here, what I'm trying to get at. It's hard to put into words. You have to have your hordes of enemies, and you have to have that feeling of, I'm a badass, look at what I just tore through. But at the same time, you have to make resource management and actually staying alive difficult. So, I mean, give enough enemies that it takes a whole lot of bullets to kill. You can make one really tough enemy, a whole bunch of really weak enemies. That'll accomplish the same goal. What they do in this one, they give you a shit ton of weak enemies, and if you play on the higher difficulties, they're tougher enemies and more of them. So you have to watch your resource management that way. In Doom 3, it really didn't have the same mentality. You put clips of ammo into one enemy, trying to take it down. But this was also before they, you know, coded in reloads and things of that nature. So that's another thing they're going to have to work with in the new game. Yeah, we're going to spend this whole fucking video talking about what we need Doom 4 to be, because it's going to take that long. Is there anyone? Oh, motherfucker, what are you doing in there? That's why you always check your corners, kids. Thank God he was derpier than me. Oh, the AI back in the days. And that's another thing about Doom. The AI isn't great, but that's part of what gives it its charm. You can feel like a badass because you're smarter than all the friggin' computer-generated enemies. Doom, I think, for multiplayer, doesn't need to go the competitive route. You know, competitive multiplayer it's there, but it's dying off. I mean, look at what's happened to Call of Duty and Battlefield. The two heaviest hitters, they're dropping way off on their views on Twitch and YouTube, particularly YouTube with Call of Duty. I mean, there's people that won't even post that shit anymore, who used to be known for it. Hell, Woody's Gamertag more or less quit YouTube, and Call of Duty was his thing up until he started running a Minecraft server. It's because no one fucking watches Call of Duty. You got Wings of Redemption. Keep trying to break the mold with Call of Duty. My channel was known for Call of Duty back in the day, but I'm going to treat everyone like shit because no one watches my videos, and I don't give a shit. You don't get anywhere from treating people like shit, and you certainly don't get anywhere by posting the game that no one wants to watch. If you're really in it just for, you know, views and subs, as you say, and in it for the money and not posting because, you know, it's something you enjoy, then you need to get a new fucking job. Because nobody's watching the Call of Duty shit anymore. I mean, sure, some people do, but where even was I? What Doom 4 needs to be? As far as multiplayer, the competitive multiplayer, it's dying off. Titanfall is one of the last great truly competitive multiplayer games that we're going to see. Because we look at what's coming up and what people are excited to buy. They're excited about Destiny, they're excited about The Division, and both of those are more cooperative than they are competitive. There are competitive elements to them, certainly, but the cooperative elements are more there. I mean, they're both loot shooters, so obviously you're going to be cooperating to take down enemies so you can get the best loot. I mean, there will be competitive elements to both of them, but cooperative's where it's at. And here, you see I get stuck on the dudes I'm trying to run over. That's because of the no true Y-axis. It's got your X and your Z that you move on for your horizontal movements each way in a plane, but there's no true Y-axis. So we need some form of competitive multiplayer for Doom. Or not competitive, cooperative. I just got done saying that there needs to not be competitive. Because the fun aspect of Doom is rolling through these hordes of enemies. You're not going to be doing that on multiplayer. On multiplayer, you're going to have a bug in the mouth. You're going to have, 6 to 12 people on each team, and that's all you'll see is the other people. And you can make it feel like there are a lot more of them by making the map smaller, or you can let us cooperate and take down the hordes of enemies together with our friends and talk about, oh my god, did you just see that? Make it difficult, give us some challenges, or just give us, more enemies than we have fucking bullets and try and keep up. But I certainly think that cooperative is the way to go for a Doom multiplayer. Now, honestly, I think you could do a cooperative campaign in lieu of single player, to where you have the option to play it alone, or you can play it with friends. Scale to get difficulty for it, and then you can do it that way. What guns do we want to see in it, though? Now, Doom 3 set the precedent of the Soul Cube. It also more or less just retold Doom 1 and 2, where you're on Phobos, demons unleashed. Here's why. Oh, there's a cyber demon in the pit of the moon. So, go kill it with the Soul Cube that you charge up by killing a bunch of enemies. Cyber demon's been done to death. We also want the Arachnid demon back. Which I think it was. I don't remember. It's been too long since I played through Doom 3. That one doesn't play near as fast, and you can't just pick up, drop off, restart, whatever. So, we need big enemies, and we need lots of small enemies. We need a cooperative campaign. Are we almost to the last level yet? We're at the last level. Okay. Damn. This went by a lot faster than I thought it would. Okay, let's wrap it up on this so we can get back to talking about the game a little bit. We need cooperative gameplay. Big enemies like the Cyber Demon, small enemies and lots of them like the Imps and the floating skulls and shit. You need the Super Shotgun back. You need the BFG 9000 back. Your Plasma Rifle. We don't need to add a bunch of fucking guns and everything. We can work with the guns that have been established in the game. I mean, the Soul Cube was nice and all, but, I mean, outside of the Cyber Demon, it had very limited uses. It was like the elixir from Final Fantasy games. You hold on to it just in case you need it, and then it turns out you didn't use it for the whole fucking game. So, awesome. You have this just sitting in your inventory. Great. There's no point to an item like that. Just take it out of the game if you're going to do that. So, basically, we want to run around with 4 to 8 of our friends, destroying the places. And you know what could be really cool? Instead of doing missions, make it a giant open-world game, where your purpose is just, simply eradicate the threats. You can put markers on the map where stuff is. You can have quest items, even. Quests, if you will. Missions, as they're called in games like this, rather than quests. And here I expect there to be a whole bunch of the Spectres, because in Ultraviolence there are. But here it's just 2 of the Barons from Hell. And I'm like, well, this isn't so bad. So, give us an open world, give us, variable missions, maybe randomly generated missions even. Take a learn from the Diablo series, have randomly generated areas. That could add a whole lot of length and replayability to the game. Random elements are awesome in games nowadays. And there's a deathless run of Doom. And no, this one wasn't the close one. I played, as you'll see later, I had done some Wolfenstein after this and got down to 6% health. So, guys, that about wraps it up. Comment below, or ask on the radio or on the radio show on iHeartRadio the question: what you want to see in Doom 4? Let me know what you guys want to see, and we'll talk it out. We'll air it out on the show, see what everyone's looking for. This is Breach. Again, listen to us at iHeartRadio. Our show name is The Gamer Bros. Also on Spreaker at www.smacfmradio.wix.com/The Gamer Bros. Or check out this YouTube channel. Follow us on Twitter at TGB Gamer Bros. And, have yourself a nice fucking day. You've earned it.